Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Risky Racing podcast. My name's Stephen Greening, and joining me today I've got Michael Messenger and the third member of Risky Racing, Oliver Ettridge. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey boys, how's it going?
Hello, I'm good, thanks. Greening, how are you?
I'm very well. It's nice of you to join us this time.
Nice to get an invite.
Well, you should have been at work when we did this, so...
Yeah, that is true. I was at work, thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't say no more on that subject. Right, so we're going to try and structure this a little better than last time, because we're professionals now.
We got really good comments on the first one. I don't think we should change it too much.
I think
thank
people
you
have just
everyone
been
for
nice.
the comments.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Now that I'm here, it's all going to go downhill.
Yeah, well, I'm expecting so. So, right, I'm going to ask the same question to Ollie as I did to Mike. Ollie, how did you get into sim racing?
So I'd say my first racing game was Gran Turismo 1 on the original
Classic.
PlayStation. Just
Yeah.
great one. Then PlayStation 2, moved on to sort of Colin McRae Rally. And then sort of Gran Turismo 4 got a proper, well, I say a proper steering wheel. It was okay for the time, I guess. It had two pedals, steering wheel with no force feedback, and a little sort of backwards and forwards gear selector.
Yeah.
And then I guess then went on to PlayStation 3 with F1 Championship Edition. And then
Great
yeah.
game.
So that was, fantastic game. I remember playing it one morning, and my uncle thought that it was the actual, like, because of the graphics at the time, thought it was the actual, like, F1 coverage.
Who did you used to drive as on there? Who was your pick?
Kimi
Oh,
Was it-
Räikkönen.
Did that come out around 2006, 2007?
It came out 2007 based on the 2006 season.
so you had Alonso
So
in
you
there
could have
with
been
the
Alonso.
classic. Yeah.
You could have been was Super Aguri in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Career mode was always Super Aguri.
Minardi, were they in there?
Yeah,
that year?
yeah.
No.
They were, weren't
No?
Were they? I don't remember them being in there.
Had
But
they
I don't know. And
had they become Toro Rosso at that point?
They
Oh.
had, yes, because it
Maybe.
was the one car that was still running V10 or V12 engine. That season, wasn't it?
Look at us, we sound like we know what we're talking about. I like this.
Well, we
Um,
kind of just spent a lot of time playing computer games. That's basically
Yeah,
what happened.
You're not
yeah,
wrong.
basically. And then after that, it was just playing that and Gran Turismo 5 until F1 2009 came out on the Wii. That was a shockingly bad game. But and then I guess just the Codemasters F1 games until 2017. I started watching Jimmy Broadbent stream, and I was really into his sort of endurance racing on R Factor 2, but then decided to pick up iRacing on Black Friday one year, and that's been it since, really.
Because Black Friday makes all the difference on iRacing.
It does. It really does.
Is it still half price, or have they changed it to a third off
It's
now?
like 20% or something. Yeah,
I'm sure it used to be half price.
it probably was. I think that's when I got it. Well, it was half price, and then it's become
Goes-
popular, so they steal everyone's money.
Yeah, strong words, but I can't disagree. Unfortunately, it's not the cheapest.
It's not the cheapest hobby to have, is it?
It's not. No. Also, I was going to ask, how did you end up racing with us? Because me and
Poor
Mike met
soul.
obviously through work. So
Yeah. So that was what year was it? 2019. I think I wanted to do an endurance race, and the next one coming up was Le Mans. I probably should have done some like the 6 hours first. And it was just sort of 2 weeks before the race. Just put a message on the forum. There was like a thread of people looking for teams. So I just put a post up there, and then Mike the next morning DM'd me, and I, for some reason, said yes.
I was all up in your DMs.
You were indeed.
Yeah.
We didn't scare you
Battle.
off, which was,
No,
you know.
no, it was a very odd situation the first time that I joined you guys.
Well, I remember the first time I spoke to you, I was like, Ollie's very quiet to Mike after you'd left the Discord. And I was like, I don't know if he's going to stick around, boys.
Well, I remember joining basically I got a message from Mike saying, "Oh yeah, you can join the Discord. We'll be practicing tonight from say 7 p.m. or whatever." So I jump in and there's you two, Reese and Dan, and Dan and Reese were just sort of being very loud at each other, and I didn't have a clue what was going on. And then all of a sudden, I'm dragged into another room on the Discord server, and then Reese and Mike were just sort of like, "Yeah, don't worry, we'll just practice, just the three of us at the moment," and sort of sheltered me for almost the first week from the rest of the team.
I also remember we was all working, so you had the honour of starting, I believe, as well, which has made it even
my
worse.
very first endurance race, starting the race with no company, having to register the team, having not done that before. That was, yeah. And then the first stint went great. We were quite a high position, no incidents. Went out for the second stint. I think it was actually as I left the pits, then into the corner just before Turtle Rouge, just clipped the curb, and that was race over. And you still let me stick around.
We do.
We kind of had to let you stick around, really, because
I mean,
you're the only one that could tolerate our sense of humour. So it's slim pickings at that point, really.
thing is, I feel like we'd have been so nice to you back then. Now, if you do that, you just get called a turkey.
Oh yeah, which I still think is relatively tame for some of the things that you could have said to me. But and actually, some of the things that you do say to me when we're not recording.
Should we move on to the next topic? Steve, what's next on the agenda?
Well, we've kind of spoken through Ollie. That was like, this is your life. That was sim racing life. That's fine. Topics, we could talk about some real motorsport if you'd like. So like Goodwood maybe, because that's just happened.
I mean, there's only one story, and it's the electric car that beat the run record. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head, but
the McMurtry Spielberg or something.
I did read an article today though that said it had is it using a Fanatec steering wheel?
It is using Fanatec paddles. I can't remember.
Yeah,
exactly which one. It's like the podium paddles or whatever they're called. But yeah.
I mean, it was slightly unbelievable, that car, because I watched it. I watched the second to last run it did, and I only caught the end of it. And the speed, it was ridiculous. But when on that last run, on the final run, when it was building up at the start, and the fan kicked in, and it sucked itself to the ground.
It just sinks a little, and then it's just 0 to 60, I think, 1.5 seconds. It's ridiculous.
You know that it's quick when the guys who do the starting wedge thing, like, look in disbelief as it disappears up the road, because they stood next to, like, hypercars and all sorts.
Oh yeah.
All the time. They don't react. And then when that thing launched, it was like, okay, that's a properly quick car.
And it looks like it's only going to get quicker. This was meant to be their sort of showcase of their performance currently before they do further updates.
Really?
And yeah, on their website they're saying they're planning. They've already got further radical updates, they say, planned for the rest of this year, and then in the future they want to go to loads of prestigious tracks and take the lap records, which I cannot wait for.
I mean, I could have saved them about 2 seconds already by taking Max Short out, to be fair.
Oh, that's a little harsh.
Putting Jensen Button in there. No?
He is pretty quick up the hill. That electric rallycross car did look good as well, going quicker
It
than
did.
the Formula E car, which slightly embarrassing for Formula E.
Did
Uh,
2 out of the 3
yeah.
runs it didn't make it up? I think. Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know
It's gonna
it's
be a
next year's
short
car.
first round.
I'd say the other feel-good story from Goodwood was Wayne Rainey
Yes.
getting back on his championship-winning MotoGP bike and being
Escorted.
going up the hill with some of his old rivals on his other championship-winning bikes.
Yeah. So you had Wayne Rainey on his Yamaha 500cc 2-stroke, Kevin Schwantz on his Suzuki, Mick Doohan was there on a Honda, and I feel like I'm missing one out. I know
You're missing one. I can't remember who
one.
it was.
Danny Pedrosa?
Doohan, Rainey. Danny Pedrosa was on
He was
last
there,
year's
but
KTM
yeah.
bike. Yeah,
Did he stay on the bike?
He did.
he did.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, Mr. Pedrosa.
Kenny Roberts. We was missing Kenny Roberts.
Kenny Roberts.
We was missing
That was
Kenny
it.
Roberts. Yes, I knew it would come to me.
I missed all that.
It was
didn't
actually
see
quite
any of that.
emotional. It was It's the first time he's rode a bike in. Well, it's the first time he's rode his 500cc bike since his accident, I think. And his accident was late 80s, early 90s.
Well, he won the championship 1991, 92, I think. His accident was 93.
Yeah.
And then he's been paralysed from, is it shoulders down?
Yeah.
Waist down?
Yeah,
Something
waist.
like that.
Yeah.
How did he? I didn't see it. So how did he? I'm guessing they loaded him on the bike, or was he on?
Yeah, so he's loaded on, and then they put like a strap across his legs, and then somebody.
And he's got
hand
cycling
controls.
pedals as well. He's got cycling pedals, so he was wearing cycling shoes that clip in to the pedals.
Oh, okay. Right. I missed all of that. I didn't see any of that.
It's very good.
It's on YouTube. It's worth a watch.
Well, that's a fantastic segue to what happened in the MotoGP this week.
Oh.
What
You
a
boys
race.
can talk
Well,
about that
four.
because I didn't see all of it.
It was a
Four
very
fantastic
good race.
races.
Actually, yeah. Well, I mean,
Moto 3, Moto 2, MotoGP, and Moto E all had probably race of the season.
I did not see the Moto E, but yes, the rest of them was very good. Yes.
Yeah. So if you missed what happened,
Spoiler alert.
firstly, go and watch it. Secondly, spoiler alert. Basically,
Pause now if you don't know what's going on. But
basically, so it's at Assen, Cathedral of Motorcycle Racing. Fabio Quartararo, reigning champion, championship leader, going into the race with a 34-point lead over Aleix Espargaro.
I think it was a little bit more. I thought it was closer to like 40, but yeah, it's a fair amount. It's a lot.
Fair amount, more than a race lead. Pecco Bagnaia, who pre-season testing everyone was saying was going to win the championship, but he's had in his previous 5 races 2 wins, 3 DNFs, so he's sort of out of the championship battle. They get away off the line. Pecco Bagnaia takes the lead. Aleix Espargaro second, Quartararo third, and Quartararo, I'd say, is well known for never crashing. Doesn't crash in practice, doesn't crash in qualifying, doesn't crash in races. Mr. Consistent.
Mr. Consistent. Jorge Lorenzo, 2.0.
Yeah, essentially. But for some reason, going into turn 5, maybe 5 laps in,
Yeah, it was about
goes
that.
for a monumental lunge up the inside, loses the front, wipes out championship rival Aleix Espargaro. Pecco Bagnaia sort of runs away for a fairly easy victory. I think he had more pace in the bag, but Aleix Espargaro, going from almost dead last, works his way up to P6 on the final lap, into the final chicane, goes up the inside of two other riders to finish 4th, with probably one of the greatest motorcycle overtakes I've ever seen.
I kind of closed my eyes. I thought that's not going to work. He's going to come. He's going to come off worse, but he just made it stick.
What sort of corner was it?
Chicane.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes.
So it was a late lunge on the brakes into a chicane.
Yeah, it's one of those old tracks where there used to be a really long straight, and they've just put in a little chicane to.
Is it a flip-flop chicane, like a pretty quick?
Absolutely
fairly...
flip-flop.
Right. Okay.
It's notorious for people cutting it on the final lap, for an overtake.
I believe Rossi and Marquez
with Rossi, Marquez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rossi winning, going across the gravel, if I remember right.
Yes. Yeah. And then the flip side of this situation was Fabio Quartararo. After the crash, got back on his bike, did a few laps, was 3 seconds off the pace, pulled into the pits, we think to retire the bike. His team sent him on his way, and then he had damage to the bike. A rear traction control sensor had been broken in the crash. Came out of the same corner that he initially crashed at, high-sided, and because his airbag had already gone off in the first crash, he didn't have it for the second one. So that could have been him out for a few races, but thankfully he's managed to get away with no injuries.
Lucky boy.
Yeah. Certainly spiced up the old what's it called?
The championship.
Championship, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're quite close on points now.
Yeah, so it'll be down to around 10 points.
Yeah.
About 10, 15 points now.
Did Marco Bezzecchi get second in that race? Or third?
I think he got...
the Aston race. Yeah,
I don't know. I think he got second.
He was on an absolute charge at the start, and he
was on the charge.
Yeah, very good rider. So, shout out to him.
Well, I'll have to catch up with that because I missed all of this week's MotoGP. I just didn't have time. I did have time, but I just kind of didn't think about it because I was watching the British Touring Cars instead.
How was that?
Smashing is what I'm going to say because the Ginetta Juniors left most of their cars on the track, but it was the highlight of the weekend. The touring car races were a bit bland, I'll be honest. It was a bit too difficult to overtake. The hybrid's not working as well as the ballast, I don't think.
No, the hybrid for me has not made the effect on the championship that they thought it would.
No, because it's not powerful enough, to make a big enough difference. I mean, if you've got 18 laps of hybrid and you're at the back of the grid, you should be ploughing past the people who aren't using it, but they're not. It's just...
I noticed in the first season of the race at Donington that no one had seemed to figure out the strategy for it and had finished the race with still several laps available to them.
But that's drivers getting used to it, aren't they? They're not heated about it, they're just not used to using it. But yeah, it was an alright round of British Touring Cars. I mean, obviously, I'm more following the Porsche Carrera Cup this year because, we
Our
have
boy Charles Rainford
reasons.
in the
real racing driver.
Yes, currently leading Pro-Am by 5 points.
I suppose we could briefly touch on your involvement in that team, Ollie, couldn't we? As you're here.
Yes, can do.
We're going to try and make this one half an hour, so we've got 12 minutes to fill.
So, team is CCK Motorsport. They're a small independent team from Sussex, East Sussex, that only one driver, Charles Rainford, drives for, and I sort of work with them as a sort of general handyman and data engineer.
How loosely are we using data engineer?
I would say quad bike breaker from what I've heard, but...
Yes, I do have a habit of breaking the quad bike. I think I've gone through 4 different wheels on the trolley and 2 spark plugs so far. And we've done 3 races.
But he's had better results every time, so you're obviously not hindering him too much on the track.
I don't know what the budget is for the car, but is there like a budget for the bike?
Yeah, it's double the car.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
We will try and probably do a Charles Rainford special, maybe, but he is the world's busiest racing driver, it seems.
He is.
Apart from at
every
midday
day
on
at
Monday,
track.
when he's on iRacing.
Doing VW Jetta races.
Yeah, for fun.
You know,
but yeah,
German engineering, it's all the same. Porsche, Jetta, Makes no difference.
Yeah. Well, we are very lucky that he does race with us occasionally in the special events. So he should be making an appearance at 24 Hours of Le Mans, hopefully, for us.
Hopefully.
In mid-August, I think it is.
Yes, middle of
It
August.
is, yes.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. Sharing a car with him again. Yeah. Right, should we move on to something else? That was a brief, very brief.
Well, real life motorsport. Congratulations to Lance Stroll on the British Grand Prix victory.
Congratulations.
Came out of nowhere.
Congratulations to Nicholas Latifi on the British Grand Prix victory.
Well, now you've just given away that we pre-record this.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we should do it like a soundbite for every driver, and then we just insert the one that works. But I mean,
or with like a random pause.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Felipe Nasr for winning the British Grand Prix.
Oh God!
Ultimate curveball. You could congratulations to Jimmy Broadbent for completing a race without breaking the.
Oh! Too soon. Too soon. Too soon. Too soon.
Oh no!
You didn't hear that last bit, did you?
It's alright, we just got raided in Discord because we kind of forgot we were recording for a second. But we'll leave it in. It's fine because they won't hear anything. They'll just hear me going, "Oh no!" in my headset. Right. Yeah. So that's coming up this weekend. Silverstone F1, isn't it?
So what's your picks then, boys, for this weekend?
Genuinely.
Yes.
I'm gonna actually go for a Red Bull to win.
Okay.
I'm not going to say which one.
Yep.
I think one of the Mercedes will get on the podium.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to unfortunately, I'm going to say Sir Lewis.
Really?
I'm going to pick it. Yeah.
Even though George has kind of got the measure of him.
I don't think he has.
Really?
I think the car's just suiting him at the moment. In all honesty. Actually, I'm going to put the cards on the table. Prediction. Right. It's going to be Perez.
Yep.
Hamilton.
Okay.
Sainz. Verstappen and Leclerc are going to kill each other, I think, and take each other out of the race.
Well, they haven't
I feel something brewing.
They've kind of gone wheel to wheel, and they haven't so far, have they? Unlike last year, where two drivers only had to look at each other and they would crash.
But yeah, well, that's the thing though, that they've got the pressure now of Ferrari need to beat Red Bull. It needs to happen. If they don't beat them, if they don't outscore Red Bull at Silverstone, it's kind of done, in my opinion.
Red Bull have won 6 races in a row now.
Yeah.
I think it's already done.
Do you?
Well,
yeah.
I feel like Mercedes are going to come back strong. It pains me to say it.
I've been reading things online, and Mercedes think they can win this weekend, possibly, with the right conditions.
What's the right conditions? Red Bull's plane gets stuck in.
But yes, yeah.
Milton Keynes, all roads are shut. Is that the...
Yeah.
Well, that's from what I was reading on Autosport. I think Mercedes technical director was saying we think we actually have a chance of
this track suits their car better than the recent circuits have done.
Is it because the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight's the flattest straight known to man?
And it is, unless you're a MotoGP rider, and then it's the bumpiest circuit known to man, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, bikes are a bit different, aren't they?
My prediction is going to be neither McLaren finishes in the points.
That's a very conservative prediction.
I suppose it is this season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lando Norris is 7th in the championship, though.
I want to get a solid top 3 from you.
Okay, Verstappen, Perez, Russell.
Oh, okay. No Ferraris.
No, Ferrari disaster class yet again.
That's what happens when you turn your oil up to 11, I guess, and burn through it. They go pop. Right, so that's predictions for the F1. Is there anything else this weekend coming up?
No, MotoGP's on a 5-week holiday. There's no British touring cars. There tends not to be anything on while British Grand Prix on.
Well, I suppose we could have a very quick chat about the LOA, limit of adhesion. I tried to say
Thank God silly season is over. Sorry, I just thought I'd get that in.
Yeah.
Didn't you win technically?
I was the first of the losers, if that counts. Does that count?
That counts.
That is,
seeing as Dom disqualified himself.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, somebody in this podcast.
Should we explain what a silly season is? As we're
you explain.
about?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the
explain
least
things.
qualified to explain silly season. I literally found the thread yesterday.
So the league that we compete in, limit of adhesion,
He
at the
said
end
it.
of each season,
It.
there is a 4 or 5 week break in which we run silly track and car combinations with ridiculous rules, basically just to let off steam and punt people that we've had falling out or incidents with during the season, and then it just
That's a personal
resets.
goal of yours, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Unfortunately, I never got close to your event, Greening.
Oh. Not in Sim, anyway.
So yeah, that's a basic introduction to silly season.
Yeah, so that's finished. That finished last Sunday. So now we've got a week's break. The LOA have a week's break, and then what date would it be? No idea. Don't know what date is today. So
it's the 15th of July, I believe, is the first race of the.
Right. So is that GT3 kicking off?
I'm completely wrong. It's the 10th of July.
10th of July, and that's F3 or GT3?
That is GT3 at Watkins Glen.
Oh, classic
so
combo.
we compete in both the F3 and GT3, and there's a tin top season that's coming midweek at some point. So yeah, the races do every other week. So it would be GT3, F3, GT3, F3, and then in the week they have this tin tops.
And some rallycross stuff as well, which I think that's on a Friday night.
That is alternating Fridays for the tin tops.
Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And also the LOA offer oval racing in the oval racing division, which they do. Is it every fortnight on a Saturday evening? Not sure. I don't see very often in oval racing.
There you've got the sort of Oval Academy, which is the ARCA cars on 3 tracks. I believe that is every Saturday evening, and then you've got the IndyCar and the next gen NASCARs alternating on these Sunday mornings, I guess.
Yeah, so that's the league that we race quite closely with and have quite a bit to do with, but it's a good bunch of people, so head over. I will put a link in the description. Maybe. We'll see. May have forgot last time.
No, I think you did. I think.
Did I?
It was there.
There was a link to the website.
I did a thing.
Yes.
That's close enough. Right. Well, should we end it there, gentlemen?
Yes. Until next time.
Yeah. So I'll quickly do a bit of a. We're gonna try and post once a week, probably on a Wednesday, so then we can cover anything we've been doing simulation wise in the league, and then any real life racing that's happened. We can chat about how wrong our results from the F1 were. Yeah, basically that's what we're going to end up doing. Yeah, if you want to buy any sim racing stuff, head over to Midas Simulations. There's a link in the description. If you want to get involved in a really friendly league, limited adhesion, or LOA for short, because that's easier to say. Links in the description too. Just like to thank everyone for listening, and have a great day. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.